Well, I'm finally leaving Sisters, back on the trail. I had some delays. The post office, I'll let those cars go by, motorcycles actually. The post office routed my package to Arkansas. So instead of getting delivered on Monday, it didn't get delivered until today. So that delayed me a little bit. I was hoping to get out of town early, but I couldn't get my package until post office opened, and then I had to go do my resupply. And of course, I couldn't do that until I got my package and knew what food was in it. Well, I knew it was in it, but I wanted to make sure I got it before I went and bought a bunch of stuff I didn't need if it was in the box. Anyway, tried to get out of town, and it took like almost 2 hours to get a hitch out. Finally got a nice guy that gave me a ride, and I'm starting the trail now. It's 2:45, so definitely a real late start today on Tuesday the 8th, compared to what I was hoping to do and get a real early start this morning. Anyway, so I'm on trail heading out of Sisters, and I guess the next major stop is probably government camp. There's a couple little stops along the way I may make, not really as resupply so much as just getting real food. There's a youth camp in about a day which does a great buffet dinner, and it's donation based, so they let PCT hikers take part and donate for that. There's a little town which is a few miles off the trail, again, where you could it's a resort of types, and you could go in there and the restaurant and get a real meal. Not really in a resupply option, so I'm carrying about, I think, 8 days of food, which is heavy. And right now we've got a 14-mile water carry, so I'm carrying water more than normal. So got a heavy pack, and I'm walking on these stupid lava rocks that I definitely do not like. Anyway, before I fall down on these silly things and twist an ankle or something, I'm going to turn the camera off. But anyway, just an update where I am. Well, it's my second day out of Sisters, and we have a lot of smoke in the air. Again, there's wind coming from the west, blowing smoke from the coast over, I guess. As far as I know, there's no forest fires near us. There's about 20 fires burning in the state, from, you know, a few hundred acres to a couple big ones, but nothing's near us at this point that I'm aware of. Some trail magic with host Magic Mike. Well, it's been an interesting day for food and drink. Went to the Big Lake Youth Camp for water, because they're one of the few water places along the trail this part of Oregon. And they do a buffet breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which is, they just say, hey, it's free, help yourself. And you can make a donation if you want. So had lunch there. It is all vegetarian. It sounds like it's a Christian youth camp, and they have no caffeine drinks, no meat. It's all vegan. It was pretty good. Pierogies and toast, and did have some chocolate chip cookies for dessert, so it's pretty good. Anyway, then we come out of there, and about a mile and a half later, here's Magic Mike, his trail name, doing trail magic. So he had sodas and beer, real caffeine, which the church camp didn't, and hamburgers, which they didn't because they were vegan. So had a hamburger, some chips, some grapes, and I actually had a Coke, didn't have a beer. I need the caffeine. So probably getting that camera too close to me, and all you're seeing is my chin or something. Anyway, it's just been an interesting day. Other than breakfast, I haven't had to dig into my pack for food, which is unfortunate because it's still heavy. And I'm expecting to eat the food out of there to make it lighter. I'll have to work on that tonight, I guess. Well, good morning. It's Thursday, August 10th, I believe. And just leaving the campsite. And we still got some haze in the air. Clouds are rolling in. You can see them moving. This is real time. This is not time lapse. So they're moving in pretty good. What we're going to get for weather, I don't know. It's not supposed to rain today, but of course my with lack of cell service, my weather forecasts are a couple days behind. So this is what a wilderness area looks like. When there's a fire and the trees die, they just stand up till they fall over, and then they fall over and they sit here forever until they rot, and they eventually rot down to stuff like that. Luckily they do allow trail crews to come in and clean the trail, and thank goodness they've been in here in the last couple weeks, it sounds like, because this was a problem. There is still something like over 350 blowdowns. I've probably been through about 80 of them so far that haven't been trimmed out. But you notice here there's been a lot of work done trimming, cleaning this trail up, and that is so appreciative. Because imagine if we had to crawl over all these, or in some cases walk around. They're too high to go over, too low to go under. You got to go around. It's just not fun. Well, we're back to trail that's not been cleaned up yet. And 1, 2, 3, 4, I can see 5 logs right here, right in the trail. We got to crawl over. I'm trying to do between 16 and 17, 18 miles a day. That's what I need to do to get to Canada on time. And this does not help. This does not help. It just slows you down, having to crawl over these darn logs. Well, speaking of blowdowns, and it's windy, so I will go under that, and if I hear any creaking or cracking, I will run fast. Hey, it's the afternoon, trying to get to camp, and we come across this pretty raging river. And No Name here was already looking it out when I got there, and we put our heads together and found a way across. We did have to wade. We threw a big log across to help us as a handhold, but yeah, we got wet. Shoes are wet, they'll dry out.
Socks are clean.
Yeah, they are. No more dust in the socks. So we made it, we're good, we're heading off to camp. We'll catch you down the trail. Yeah, unfortunately, no way to cross on rocks. So if you see right down there, I think right about there, you'll see the log we put across. And we actually waded across on the downhill side, the downstream side, and used that as a handhold. And we got wet up to our knees. But we made it across safely, so that's what counts. That's the backside of Mount Jefferson. All that snow are basically glaciers that are feeding that stream we had to cross last night. I've been seeing lots of huckleberry bushes along the trail, but I haven't seen any huckleberries until just now. And there's a little guy right there. And I commented on that to a thru-hiker, a suction hiker, like a day hiker that was out here. And he said, that's because Bigfoot eats all the berries. They don't like it when humans eat them. And I kind of smiled at him and chuckled. And
Yeah.
he looked back at me real serious, like he meant it. So I just moved on.
Have a good day.
So I guess the question is, do I dare take the huckleberry? Well, if I don't come back, I guess it's because Bigfoot likes, oh my gosh. Let's go for twofer. There's another one. Well, maybe I'm in trouble. We'll find out. Well, I had to stop at the lake for my namesake. Actually washed my feet and my shirt there too. Well, maybe I shouldn't have eaten those 2 huckleberries. Well, we'll see what happens. We camped here last night at this campground. Actually, this wagon trail is the last part of the Oregon Trail. They've preserved it to show what the pioneers did that came to Oregon on the Oregon Trail. And you can walk it a ways, I guess. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to get into Timberline Lodge today for breakfast. But anyway, just a little bit of history. The Oregon Trail kind of ended here. There's a lot of history about Timberline Lodge. I'm going to put some links in the description field for you to look at if you want. I got here about 1:30 and had the lunch buffet. Kind of explored the lodge a little bit, sat down and worked on a video that I'm getting ready to upload. And we also got a shot of Mount Hood here, kind of in the background. This is a neat place, expensive, but neat place. It was built by the WPA back in the 30s. It's a historic monument or buildings on the historic register list. A lot of good work inside. It's really impressive. Neat building. Anyway, I'm gonna be heading out back in the trail here in a few minutes. I just thought I'd update you what I'm doing. Parts of Stanley Kubrick's The Shining were filmed here. Well, I'm taking the Ramona Falls trail. It's an alternate. In fact, it's the old PCT trail from years ago. Ramona Falls on the side trail. This is actually the old PCT. They used to have it come this way. Well, this is what those streams look like that are fed by those glaciers on top of the volcanoes. They're full of all that silt, and we generally can't use them for filtering water because they'll clog up our filters. There's just so much silt in them, so we don't use them. But there's about I think 1.5 miles there's water in front of us on a spring, so we'll get that. But to cross this, we got to go across that log, so that's going to be fun. I may let you watch this. I don't know. I got to see how many hands I need. I'm going to try something here, holding the camera in my mouth. Okay, made it. All right, that was fun. It's another view of Mount Hood as we're starting to move away. Anyway, just came out of some trail magic. Spent about an hour there. Had a soda, had a beer, had a grilled cheese and some chips. And that was great. I needed that those calories and that energy and that break. It's about 6:45 on Thursday. I'm trying to push to get to Cascade Locks for what they call PCT days. It's kind of a festival, convention, party for PCT hikers. Anyway, I'm going to push a little later tonight, try to make some more miles. The Columbia River, the border between Oregon and Washington. That's where I'm heading today. It's Saturday, August 19th. I'm going to be down there and spend the day at PCT days and then hike across the bridge tomorrow and be in Washington.